Good evening and welcome to Mondello Park. We're live from Virtual Race Academy headquarters, where you join us for rounds 1 and 2 of the brand new MX5 Cup.
Exactly, right here at Mondello. So we're in Mondello, and this is for the first time, I think, for some of our drivers, they'll be attacking the national track in reverse.
National track reverse, yeah. Only a couple of races here in the real world held on the reverse track as well, so it's great to have it in VR as well. So Niall, tell us about this championship. It's a 5-round championship with 10 races. So we're at Mondello tonight. Where do we head next?
So we're off to Donington after this one, and then we have Snetterton, Alton Park, and the very challenging Cadwell after that.
Great stuff. So there's a round every Wednesday evening, 8:30 p.m. 2 races. Qualifying's open all week. How do you get involved?
Well, first thing is VRA.ie has all the information on a racing league. For this championship, we're using a Assetto Corsa. We're in the MX5 Cup, the ND car, so that comes with a Assetto Corsa.
This is PC only, right?
PC only, unfortunately, so apologies to everyone on console. We've got a lot of questions about that. You can basically register on the website. All the instructions are there. You will have to download these tracks. They don't come standard with Assetto Corsa. And that's it, really. Once you've got internet connection, a PC, a steering wheel and pedals, more or less good to go, yeah.
And we're hugely oversubscribed for this series. We've got over 45 drivers, I think, registered, and only 20 grid slots available for the start of the race. So race 1 is going to be based on qualifying positions, and race 2 is then a reverse of the finishing positions from race 1.
That's right, yeah. And we have been talking about it, but we'll probably announce it now. We are looking at actually hosting a second server race for this, so again, details of that will be on the website, vra.ie. Basically, it's the top 20 fastest drivers that we're getting through, and that is spread at the moment by 1 second. That is unbelievable. 20 drivers all within 1 second of each other.
And we have some of the previous championship winners are not actually racing this evening, I think. So there's a few kind of hot shoes not out there tonight. Still to come back. A few people on holidays. Someone off on a honeymoon, I believe. So
that's right. Barry's over in Bahamas at the moment, I believe.
Yeah, so we should see him back for rounds 3 and 4. Hopefully,
might be moving house, something like that.
So yeah, so we've got some of our brightest lights not racing with us this evening, which has given an opportunity for some of the other guys to get on board. So yeah, hugely competitive. It's going to be really interesting at turn 1. Just lastly, before we head trackside, we need to say huge thanks to all our sponsors.
Absolutely, yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do this without them, so huge thanks. There's a link below in the description here to all our sponsors, but Quinn Tankers, IrishAutoParts.ie, MurrayMotorsport.com, Detailing Emporium, MCE Events, and Digital Gasoline. Those guys, we'll be talking about them later on throughout the broadcast, but there are discount codes and all kinds of things that these guys have put together for us, for you guys as well. So that's fantastic stuff. I think let's wrap it up there, Niall, and let's head trackside for the race.
Track, yeah.
Okay guys, you're joining us live for the start of the race. We have 20 cars lined up on the grid.
Yeah, we're just nearly ready to go, Rob, at the moment, so we're just getting the last few drivers here ready onto our grid.
We've got just 20 seconds to go.
So we've got Peter Dempsey followed by, Keith Dempsey followed by
Peter Dempsey in second.
Brian
McManus in third place. Brian Egan, latecomer to the series this week, come in and is straight on with a good time. And the guys are off as they head down to turn 1. Are they all going to get through cleanly? We doubt it very much, but fingers crossed.
It's Peter Dempsey out in front from Keith Dempsey.
Oh, and there's a bit of carnage at the back.
So it looks like Peter Doyle, King Carey spun around. So let's just have a look at, there's a change at the front, Rob, it looks. 2 Dempsey guys out the front. Dempsey out in front. Keith Dempsey is very interesting as they come down into this corner.
So we've got Peter Dempsey up front, Keith Dempsey in third place, Brian McManus in third, Peter McCann in fourth, Brian Egan in fifth, Keith Rabbit in sixth, Nicky Meredith seventh, Owen Murray eighth, Adam Dowling in ninth, and Paul Doyle round out our top 10.
Yeah, Nicky Meredith is down there in seventh with Owen Murray behind, but interestingly enough, Peter Dempsey and Keith Dempsey can pull away from Brian McManus here. Rob, that's looking like Brian's got the legs on him.
Yeah, Brian was on the grass there as he just came into turn two, or what was turn two. Now the last but one corner. That was Keith Rabbit making a move on Nicky Meredith there up the inside. Let's have a look, see how Keith's getting on.
That's very tight in. Nicky
Meredith. There's somebody dropped back. Yeah, Nicky Meredith there, swapping places again, nose to tail. Is Nicky going to try? He's going head to the inside. Keith covers him off.
Bit of cold tires there, I think.
And this is backing Owen Murray and Adam Dowling into the back of Keith Rabbit. So he's got a lot of pressure on there. He's keeping a tight line, which gives who's on the outside. That's Meredith, and Meredith's got through.
He's made
bit of argy-bargy, and that punts off. That was Murray off. So a little bit of contact. That's one of the things in sim racing. The contact can be a little bit tricky, actually. If there is contact, it doesn't always act in the same way that it does in the real world.
Absolutely, Rob.
Out the front, we've got Peter Dempsey.
Let's get back out to the front and see. They seem to be getting the squirt on.
Yeah, he's pulled a bit of a gap on his brother, and a couple of car lengths back to McManus, and the leading trio there have pulled about a second and a half away from Peter McCann.
It's going to be very hard to reel in these guys. Of course, Peter, Keith and Nicky all racing under turn 3, livery and sponsorship.
Yeah, these guys hugely experienced racers both in real world and sim world. So
different line through from Keith there. I don't know what he was trying.
Yeah, I was wondering, are these three going to trip each other up as Keith just puts a wheel on the grass?
Just going to pop back there. Brian Egan's after.
He's dispatched Peter McCann.
Yeah. So just watch these two for a minute. Ron might go on board here actually with Peter McCann and just see. And Brian Egan very late turning up for this race series, Rob. Didn't he get to put skins or any sponsorship on the car? He's turned up as if he's drove it here this day.
Yeah, so that's Brian Egan in the red car front there. Extremely quick driver. And he has got Peter McCann on his tail. He looks
very impressive, actually.
He has, yeah, but Brian is pulling a bit of a gap on Peter there. Let's have a look at Nicky Meredith. Oh, and actually Peter's closed in on the brakes. He's got to run up the inside. Is he going to get the drag down the straight? But I think Egan's going to cover the inside line. But then he's going to have the...
call these by the right names. All that turn 2 as we're going through there, but...
That's it now. Egan's got it covered. So let's have a look further down the field. Let's just see how we're doing. Keith Rabbit there. Let's have a look. Great livery on that car. He's got Adam Dowling behind him.
Marty Morris and Owen Murray at the back of them. Marty was in 10th the last time we looked, so...
Yeah, those guys had a bit of contact, so that put them back. Now Murray is quite a way down the field.
Murray, he's got a lot of damage to that front of that Red Bull car, and he's gone around again.
So McGuinness and Murray and was that Marty again tangled up in that, unfortunately, by the looks of things.
Yeah, the front of that car looking worse for wear, and we're only 5 laps in. So where's Shane Rabbit back? He's down here. Keane Carey's name isn't shown up right, of course, but that's part of this whole technology front.
How far is he back to Keane? So Keane's just a couple of car lengths behind Shane. Bit of oversteer on the way to turn 2 there. Closing in on the brakes. He's got a tight line there. Does he get on the power? No. Rabbit gets on the power quicker and is going to pull a bit of a gap down the straight.
Shane's probably sitting at home with the pots and pans out now, Rob.
Yeah, Shane has some fantastic ghetto setup, utilising all of the kitchen utensils and bar stools and all kinds of stuff to make his ghetto sim rig. Fantastic stuff. So not all of these guys on.
David Yamamoto's closing up, and he's just looking in the mirror there. So we'll just go back outside and have a look. David, of course, again, another very experienced driver. He didn't get skin onto the car, so he's just out in that standard red skin at the moment. But just see the two guys out in front are.
Yeah, it looks like Peter.
Away from Ryan.
Peter Dempsey's got this under control by the looks of things. Has the measure of his brother. Peter was Peter in the last championship in the Porsche RSR Cup, and certainly Keith was finished the championship in second place. I think Peter joined for the last couple of rounds.
He was in a couple of the races, yeah.
Yeah.
He did some quick laps as well.
And McManus as well featured extremely strongly in the last championship, and he is keeping these two honest, and they're pulling away hugely from the rest of the field. So a 10-second gap from first place down to Brian Egan in fourth, and a gaggle of cars there behind Egan as they all head into the S's. So let's keep an eye on.
There's a change between Evan Walsh and Doyle, so we'll keep an eye on those guys as well.
That's it, and David Yamamoto's just dispatched Keen Rabbit. A lot of action going on back down here, bit of contact, something's gone on there.
King Carey going slow. Might have a problem.
Maybe he's blowing the engine.
Could have.
So we're following David Yamamoto at the moment.
Let's go back out in front of 1.68. 60.68 is about a second off the word in their qualifying times, so
yeah, just a shade under. So yeah, these guys, no change at the front, but Keith putting huge pressure on brother Peter there. Let's head back down the field to this train of cars. This is where the action is. Brian Egan still up the front of this. How many cars are in this train? About 8 cars in this train, a little bit more spaced out. So we've got Brian Egan at the front of the train, then we've got Peter McCann in the Falcon Tyres livery, then you've got Nicky Meredith, Keith Rabbit there in 7th. Behind him we've got Paul Doyle. We've not seen him feature much in this race. He's keeping his nose nice and clean. So all line astern, there's a bit of action going on here, I think, between Evan Walsh and Mark Ryan. Are we going to see some dives down the inside on the grass? He's completely sideways in the 48 car on the outside turn 1. That's Evan Walsh. So he now joins the back of that train. Keith Rabbit and Paul Doyle gone purple there, setting fastest laps. 101s. So Brian Egan has managed to pull a bit of a gap in this group.
Of course, in the background, Rob, we're going to be getting the second race to get underway. Race B, with so much people signed up for this. We set up a subscription.
Absolutely, 45 drivers I think signed up in the end for what are only 20 grid slots available. Let's ride on board with Paul Doyle as he tries to make a move on Keith Rabbit. Is he going to go around the outside? Now he makes the cutback, gets on the power early. He's got Keith on his outside, but Paul Doyle has made it stick, and he's got the inside for Southside. So yeah, he's pulled off the move, but no, Keith's still there. He's still there on the outside. Now he's behind him. Let's move back to Keith and see. No, he's Keith's back ahead. So he's just these guys are side by side. Let's watch the outside view, and Adam Dowling is getting in on the action here as well.
So it's very much two kind of races going on. We've got the 3 guys out in front. Ryan McManus find it hard to stay with the 2 Dempseys. And we've kind of got this procession behind. But it's wonderful to watch Keith Dempsey here just holding everyone behind. He's got the pace, he's got the confidence, and of course the experience, Rob, to pull this off. But unfortunately, isn't closing up on McCann at the moment. But we're into the latter stages of this race. We'll see how the tyres and everything hold down.
Yeah, 4 laps to go. Keith Rabbit has managed to just stay in front of... no, he hasn't, sorry. He is in front of McCann. Hard to keep track of what's going on here. But he puts a wheel wide. That's going to give, who is it now? That is McCann on the inside there. No, but he has managed to pull a bit of a gap. Okay, the gap at the front, down to just 0.2 of a second. Let's have a quick look at this. Is Keith going to pull a last minute move on his brother? And
you'd be very sure he will if he can.
Keep an eye on this. Is there going to be an ultra send down the inside here? Nose to tail around south side. Just 0.2 of a second. That gap had extended to almost half a second, but Keith there right back on his tail.
Stages of this race now, we might just ride on board with Peter Dempsey for a second, just see the lines that he's taken through. He was so smooth all week, through practice, through pre-qualifying, through qualifying. Just unbelievable to think he was a full half second faster than this. 59.9, right?
Yeah, mirrors full of his brother there, but I think that he has the measure of him. He's managed to stay ahead the whole race, so I'm not predicting a last minute lunge, but we will see. A bit more of a gap there now, and Peter Dempsey sets the fastest lap of the race. So let's leave these guys to it just for a minute. We'll head a little bit further down the field. Nicky Meredith and Peter McCann now. Peter McCann catching Meredith. McCann in that pretty cool Falcon Tyres livery car. Brian Egan there, a few seconds ahead down the field. Who else is close further down the pack? You've got McCann and Rabbit going at it, hammer and tongs still further down the pack. Someone on the grass there. Who was that? Mark Ryan. A couple of places. Keith Rabbit's lost a couple of places there. He's down to 12th now. What happened there? I think he went a bit wide on the way out of Southside.
Yeah, he's
falling back. No, so that's put McCann in a bit of...
Well, Murray working his way up from the back of the grid to 11 now, Rob.
Yeah, Murray was involved in an incident at the start, and as always, you can never discount Murray.
He's got 4 seconds to make up with 10th place.
In a lap.
Yeah.
So let's just check back in with the leaders for the last lap. Still the same line astern. They've extended that gap to McManus. Brian Egan there, a good few seconds back as well. So let's follow this battle back down the grid. McCann is leading that battle. He's stretched out, so we've got Paul Doyle there at the front of this little gaggle. Adam Dowling in 8th, Mark Ryan in 9th, Evan Walsh in 10th. Evan is at the back of this little pack here. We've got Niall Murray in 11th. He's out on his own. Load of damage to that car. He's been on the grass a few times by the looks of things. Keith Rabbit behind him there. A bit of a gap to Keith. Then we've got Fitzgerald down in 13th. David Yamamoto in 14th. Michael McGuinness in 15th. How's he getting on? He's got Marty Moore on his tail. Haven't seen much of Marty during this race. Let's ride on board with Marty. They head into turn 2. They fire it in. The car gets very light here. And the leader's now on the final lap. Marty's taking a wide line, looking to get the cut back on the way down and straight. He's got a bit of a run on him. But McGuinness is on the power early, and they stay pretty much the same. Just the car length. Oh, he's like a little. McGuinness is pulling away a little bit there. And again, Marty takes the wider line. See, can he get on the power earlier? These guys not even braking into the S's here, just a quick lift and they fire it in. So he's got a run there later on the brakes than McGuinness, but McGuinness gets on the power again early and pulls just half a second.
Let's go back to the leaders and just say I think that's Dempsey won with Peter Dempsey, Keith Dempsey, and Ryan McManus. Just see how these guys are coming over the line.
Yeah, that's Brian Egan in 4th place. So your winners are Peter Dempsey in 1st place, Keith Dempsey in 2nd, Brian McManus in 3rd, Brian Egan 4th, Nicky Meredith 5th, Peter McCann in 6th, Paul Doyle in 7th, Adam Dowling in 8th, Mark Ryan in 9th, and Evan Walsh rounds out our top 10. So that's it for race 1. Really exciting stuff. Great racing from these guys. Join us in just a couple of minutes for race 2. Okay, the countdown for race 2 is on, and we're going to see the reverse grid in just a moment.
Yeah, all looking good there, Rob. The second race we're on to the grid.
So we've got a 2-minute wait.
Got King Kerry on 3, Main Rabbit, Marty, Michael McGuinness, David Yamamoto, Daniel Fitzgerald, Keith Rabbit, Niall Murray, Evan Walsh. Following in with Mark Ryan, Adam Walsh. See how it goes on.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Quick drivers. Everybody here is extremely quick, but we've got a mix of experience. Let's just head back to page 1 on the grid list. Keen Carey, extremely experienced single-seater racer in Formula Renaults, and Owen Murray raced pretty much anything and everything from British touring cars to Seat Super Cups and or everything in between. Shane Rabbit, 2-time Irish Touring Car Championship, is he? Marty Moore, future classic racer and Fiesta racer, and Michael McGuinness is the first of our sim racers. David Yamamoto from touring cars as well. Daniel Fitzgerald, newcomer to this championship. I'm not sure what his background is. Keith Rabbit, also experienced ITCC racer. Niall Murray. Niall, I'm quick in anything, Murray, I think his middle name is. And then Evan Walsh rounding out our top 10.
Got 30-second countdown now, so we'll be going to grid soon. Of course, reverse grid for the second race, Rob. And we'll see, we've got Owen Murray behind Keen Kerry, closely followed by Shane and Marty. So I think this is going to be the best race, in my own opinion.
Yeah, it should be interesting. We're going to have the guys the two Dempseys and McManus got to fight their way from the back of the grid, and we are off.
So we'll just go on board now very quick. We've got Keen in to turn 1. He's got a good start there, Rob.
He did indeed.
Well out, so we just watch everyone in the background.
Is anybody going to get through cleanly? And somebody's round. Oh, it's carnage at turn 1.
Absolute carnage at the back. That is, wow, that's just looks. But this gives Keen Kerry a good chance now just to get squared on, get a bit of distance between himself and Michael McGuinness and Owen Murray there. Niall Murray up into 4th, Rob. That will
Keith Dempsey at the very back.
Yeah,
so race 1 winner right at the back, so he has it all to do. Keen Kerry's got a huge gap now at the front, so it's his to lose. Who's he got on his tail? McGuinness is quick, so he's going to
back down to mid
close that gap down.
Yeah, this going on. We had a lot of damage to cars at the back, Rob. So as we're looking here, we're just Peter Dempsey, Peter McCann.
So McCann is up a place, Dempsey is down a place or two. Dempsey's dispatched McCann there already.
We'll just have a look in. Keith
Dempsey's still at the back.
Really banged up MX5.
Yeah, a load of damage at the front of that car.
So David Yamamoto and McManus here. So a lot going on. This is a great race. So Niall Murray on Murray. Let's have a look at these guys.
Niles just made a
Just
place up.
made a place up there, yeah. So he is definitely got.
He's got the
foot
pace.
down, and he's got the pace.
So is he going to start to pull away at the head of this little gaggle of cars? Who's in this pack? So Niall leads brother Owen there. Keith Rabbit in 5th place. He's right on Murray's tail. Let's have a look at these guys. Is there going to be a move here? So you got Owen Murray, Keith Rabbit, Mark Ryan, and Keith has a look down the inside there. Murray's got him covered off, and Dowling is Mark Ryan there, just taking a sniff around the outside as well, and he gets on the power too early, gets it sideways, so he's going to lose a bit down the straight, and it's spaced out a little bit again. Keen Kerry puts in a flyer of a lap, a 1:06, I think that was. Let's see how that gap is doing. He's a 2.7 second gap at the front, so he's really getting the head down and getting away from McGuinness at the front. That's great to see. Fair play to Keane.
He's really taken to this, hasn't he, Rob? He threw himself into it. He came down here for a couple of nights, of course, during the Porsche Overstore Cup.
Yeah, but unfortunately got tangled up in a few kind of, a bit of argy-bargy down the pack and didn't really get a chance to shine. So it's great to see.
Oh yeah.
His
talent coming through. The banner still live on the screen, so we can see now we've got King Kerry out. So
3 second gap now, so he's extending that lead over McGuinness.
Yeah.
Niall Murray is on the back of McGuinness there. He's hot in his tail. Keith Rabbit has just dispatched Mark Ryan, so Keith's to the head of that pack. So this is a nice little battle going on here between everybody else by the looks of things.
It's a full gaggle in there, yeah. So apologies for having the banners over the half the screen to start the race, but we're live now, all's good.
And who's on the grass there? That was Paul Doyle on the grass, I think. It was, and that gives... That was Nicky Meredith just got past. So Meredith's on the move.
He is indeed.
Brian Egan is in 9th in the red car without the livery. That's Nicky Meredith in the white 10-3 car. Brian Egan has just pulled the place on Paul Doyle. But at the head of this pack, Keith Rabbit.
Yeah.
Doing a great job. Where's brother Shane? Down in 13th.
Actually, brother Barry Rabbit has just texted me from the Bahamas to say we'd left the screen over, and then we had David Sheen, DJ Dave from 36,000 feet flying over. He was tuned in to watch us live as well, which is pretty cool. So we're on to lap 5 now, Rob. We've got Keane Carey really putting a sprint out, so he's got 4 seconds up.
4 second gap, yeah. Mark Ryan just put in his fastest lap, as did Keith Rabbit as well. A lot of guys going purple sectors here, and Mark Ryan just pulled the move on Keith Rabbit and Keith Rabbit's got it back. So great battle for 3rd place. And we've got Adam Dowling getting into the mix here. Keith covering the inside line into turn 3. He's hard on the brakes. Is he going to back him up in the apex? He is. And Mark Ryan gets on the power early though, but
want to cross the grass there as well, Rob.
Rabbit's got the inside line for turn 2. Is he going to be able to make it? Looks like Ryan has got the edge. He does, yeah. So he's just manages to stay ahead.
How did he make that stick? It's so difficult coming through there.
And Meredith is back in the mix here as well.
Oh, look at this. This is a great line of cars coming in. Of course, all the cars now will be struggling with cold tires and everything.
That's about 18 cars all in line. So this is great stuff.
This is cracking Mondello racing. So Keane Carey's got.
So we've got.
He's doing well.
That's Meredith just pulled a move on. Just Rabbit gets pushed to the outside.
Did he just outbrake himself?
I think he got a tap. And that's allowed Paul Doyle there to get alongside. He's on the outside though. Rabbit's gonna. Oh, he's got another tap. He got a tap from McManus.
So unfortunate.
That's unlucky. That's unlucky.
Sure. Oh, well, Marty won't be happy with that. I'd say there'll be emails in the post, Rob. Marty's pulling over. He's obviously damaged the car. That is unfortunate. Those two guys were out all week racing away, but.
So let's head back to the front front of this little pack. So up the front of this gaggle of cars now, we've got Nicky Meredith has pulled a bit of... No, he hasn't. And he gets a little nudge at the back from Dowling. Just a little kiss to let him know he's there. It's Mark Ryan who's pulled the gap there. So he's just a second, no, 0.3 of a second ahead of these guys. Then we've got Nicky Meredith in 4th. So Meredith is the guy who's under pressure here from Dowling and Dempsey. So Dempsey, how many places did Dempsey pull up? He started right towards the back, so he would have started in 19th.
Yeah.
And he's up in 6th. So where is Keith Dempsey? Keith Dempsey is down in 12th.
There, Rob. Yeah, he's behind Shane Rabbit.
So Nicky Meredith, it really is the mover and shaker.
McKean, because he is really out on his own. He's just put it down since lights out, and it's just really lit it up, and it's got the squared on, put the stretch away. So what time was he put in?
I didn't see Keane's time. 1:01.5 was his last lap.
It was a 1:05 for Peter Dempsey, Keith Dempsey in the last round. So he's done really, really well here. It'd be great to see Keane get into this. It'd be great to see him fix his name on S-Tracker as well, to be honest with you, but we'll have a chat to him about that.
I want to head back to this battle with Meredith.
At the back here. Look at this. Oh, Bargy, oh, lads. My God, who does that?
So that was...
Let's back up into the mix, and look at this. Let's go up for Brian.
So that's going to give Mark Ryan a good bit of air.
Yeah, he's back 3 seconds now.
Yeah, so Brian Egan. So who is at the front of the...
Oh, here we go. Look
the
at this.
danger pack. So McCann trying to go around the outside.
I've seen Peter McCann practicing that all week long, and I think that's the first time he's actually got around the corner.
Huge amount of practice gone in. Some guys done 470 laps.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So huge commitment from these guys.
And in fairness to Brian Egan, he turned up fairly late, and it's just been on. Oh, there's a little tap at the back. Peter Dempsey.
So
these are all very experienced sim racers and real world racers here. So
let's ride on board. We're on board with Paul Doyle at the moment. He's in the middle of this pack. He's got Niall Murray behind him, so he's in trouble. Murray's on the outside of him here. You can just see the little red arrow on the screen, just to let you know that the car is there. So Doyle covering the inside line. He's got a bit of oversteer on the exit. He's got Murray on the outside. You can just see his wheel there. Here he comes, the motorsport car, one of the sponsors of this series.
He gives you wings, it says in the back. Here we go. Let's see.
And he's got the place.
Made a stick.
Murray over the curb, that slows him down, but also Doyle gets it all swirly.
Seeing as we're moving in onto
so 5 laps to go in this race now. King Kerry out the front, pulled an even bigger gap on McGuinness, so he's got a 5.8 second gap now. But this really is where the action is in the midfield. Brian Egan here now pulled a bit of a gap over Peter McCann. So back Peter McCann under the Falcon Cars tyre. He's under pressure from Peter Dempsey, who, despite getting stuck in the middle of all kinds of action, is still there or thereabouts. So he's going to come home with a haul of points from this race, and a great load of points from the first race. I think 21 points for the winner and 17 or 18 for the second race. Really must look that up, and so I know what I'm talking about there. So there was a change of place there, I think, was there? I missed that. Peter Dempsey in 6th. Still Egan coming under pressure there, and that's Keith Dempsey trying to go around the outside. He gets on the power, goes wide, and a little bit further back we've got Paul Doyle in the black and red and white car there. He's chasing down Niall Murray. Let's ride on board with Murray as he chases down Keith Dempsey. So the two Dempsey brothers are in 6th and 7th now. So Keith Dempsey did come off the better from that kind of bit of an incident in the middle of the field. So how big is the gap between Peter Dempsey and Peter McCann? It's just 0.2 of a second. So
it's quite possible. But Peter goes really wide there.
So we just might ride on board here with just Keith who's out front at the moment. Steve's here. This is Keith closing in on Peter again. So this is almost a repeat of race 1. And of course they've got Brian Egan, Peter McCann, Peter Dempsey, Keith Dempsey and Niall Murray all in this group. King Kerry out in front is still...
Yeah, he's extended that gap. Yeah, 6.7 seconds now. Great drive from King Kerry. And we've got Peter Dempsey down the inside of McCann, and he makes the move stick, but that has allowed brother Keith the inside line here. But Peter's got the inside line for turn 2, so should be able to make it stick as long as he doesn't get alongside him. Yeah, he's got it sorted there. So up to 5th and 6th are brothers Dempsey. McCann still there, got a nose on the inside. Oh, and there's a tap, there's a bit of contact. Whereas McCann, he's lost out. McCann loses out.
He's gone down.
And Doyle is up. Shane Rabbit makes a place.
Front of that car is looking very banged up for Niall Murray.
Yeah. How is Owen Murray getting on? He's in 11th. Virtual Race Academy car. And he's got Keith Rabbit behind him. Let's head back to this Dempsey and Egan battle further up the field. So top 3, King Kerry, Michael McGuinness, Mark Ryan. There's a couple of second or half a second between Mark Ryan and McGuinness, and then there's a big gap back to Brian Egan.
Let's just go back on board here with King Kerry for a second to see how Keane is managing out this race. 1:17, he's consistent laps going in. He'll just know that he has a time now. Keane, of course, experienced real world racer, Rob, so he'll know that he's got a lap in it and he can...
Yeah, that's control from the front, and just the last lap here we're almost on, so let's see where the action is further down the field. We've got these 3, so Brian Egan, Peter Dempsey, Keith Dempsey.
This is the action, these are the big guys here,
Yeah, these 2 real danger men. Are they going to pull a move on Egan? Are they going to be a pincer move about to take place here? And Egan could end up getting mugged. We'll see.
Or Niall Murray could really benefit the 3 of these get a bit
Absolutely
sideways through the corner, so we'll see. But this is a great race for King Kerry out front. He'll be delighted with that. He's come out. He's really thrown himself into this, as of all these drivers, Rob, to really support the Virtual Race Academy and the Irish
sim racing. Yeah, absolutely.
Stumbling over that there for a second. So leader on the last lap. Well, fingers crossed that Keane will bring it home.
So Keane, out there on his own. McGuinness in 3rd. Oh, and it's really close for 2nd and 3rd place here between Michael McGuinness and Mark Ryan. McGuinness has held that 2nd place the whole race, but Ryan trying everything to get past. He obviously thinks he's a bit quicker.
I wonder if McGuinness has a problem with the car. Doesn't look like it, but
McGuinness holding the inside line here.
yeah.
It's the last ditch attempt. He's going to keep it clean. They're doing a great job. No contact there.
Stay with these guys. We're aware that Keane's coming around to take that checker flag, but I don't think they're going to get it here.
So this is the last chance for Mark Ryan. He can run the outside here. No, he's not going to get it. So King Kerry crosses the line to take the win.
Keane.
Great race. Michael McGuinness coming home in.
Great win for Keane.
McGuinness in 2nd place.
Dempsey and I think there was a race
Oh, and
for the line. He got him.
Egan.
They got him at the end.
Peter Dempsey just edges ahead of Brian Egan. Keith Dempsey in 6th. The amount of rubber on the side of that Dempsey car.
We'll just go back to these guys as well. There's
So
a fantastic NASCAR scheme from. There's another one from Evan as well. So great racing. So there we are. That's our 2 races. Thanks to everyone who joined us online. Thanks to all of our sponsors.
yeah, we need to say a huge thank you to our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So yeah, huge thanks for them to them for supporting us. Murray Motorsport, Virtual Race Academy. Who else we got? We've got Irish Auto Parts.
Digital Gasoline. We've got
Digital
Colin
Gasoline,
here
of
with us
course.
tonight.
Yeah.
We've actually, it's been a bit of a pleasure. We've had Leo and Kershaw racing in Race B, and thanks to everyone who organised Race B in the background. MC Events as well, Murray Motorsports, Irish Auto Parts, the Detail Emporium, Quinn Tanker Service.
Tankers, yeah. Of course, these guys as well. We need to mention that they do have discount vouchers available, so we will be posting those in the links below. So just keep your eye out for those. Murray's, Irish Auto Parts, and Detailing Emporium all have discount codes for you to use in their online stores. So do check them out. Do support them. We will be back in a week's time, where we are at Donington, I believe.
Donington. So we'll just confirm our results here, Rob.
So yeah, Keen Carey, first place, Michael McGuinness in second place, Mark Ryan third, Peter Dempsey in fourth, Brian Egan an unlucky fifth, Keith Dempsey sixth, Niall Murray in seventh, Paul Doyle eighth, Shane Rabbit 10th, Shane Rabbit 8th, Paul Doyle 9th.
No, we
sorry,
skipped
and we've skipped something.
we will get that though. Thank you everyone for joining in, and we will leave our broadcast there and join in for the next race very soon. Thank you.